my name is Brittany Rice, and this is my math assessment and reteaching video presentation. So to begin, I have here the lesson plan that I chose to look at. I have my addition and subtraction with cards and dice lesson plan. For this lesson plan, I chose the objective 1.ra.1.a, represent and solve problems involving addition and subtraction. I also chose the standard 1.ra.1.capital A, use addition and subtraction within 20 to solve problems. In this lesson, we were practicing addition or subtraction. The child would roll the dice and then I would draw a card, and depending on what the card was, they would be asked to add the numbers together or subtract from the numbers. I didn't have a very good assessment for this lesson plan or the other one that I could have chosen for this. I really just used the game as the assessment, and so that way I didn't really have anything concrete or anything where the child wrote down anything, so I couldn't go back and look at it later. I was working one-on-one, tutoring a student when I made these lesson plans, so they're based more on a one-on-one perspective, and I don't think they would be very good in a classroom. Possibly a small group if I tweaked some things, but I really focused these on things that that particular student needed to work on. The independent practice was, let's see. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. The independent practice was the student will practice independently when given the problem. They will find out how to solve it on their own. So basically, we played the game a little bit together, and then they were able to play on their own, and they could use manipulatives or whatever they needed to come up with the answer. I just put for the assessment that after working some examples with the teacher, the student will be able to play the game and or to add or subtract the numbers using previous skills they've learned for success with 100% accuracy. Like I said, my assessment wasn't very good for that one, so honestly, this would probably be a good lesson to reteach, because I didn't do a very good job. But what I found was another lesson that could be used also for addition and subtraction up to 20, which is what I was trying to accomplish with these, rather than just in the 10s, even higher than that. This student did pretty well with the lower numbers, but higher on was a little bit tricky. So I found this activity where the student has two tens, like tens plaques, and let's see. I'm sorry. They are like this, blank, like that, and then they're given different pieces, and I would tell them, okay, fill up the first one, and then put 2 more in the second one, or 3 more in the second one, and then we would count them all together, and so you'd have 10 plus 3. They would then figure out that that's 13. We would also talk about how many groups of 10 there are, how many are left out. And by doing this, they can see their different numbers. They have these team cards that go along with it, 11 all the way through 19. And you could go higher, lower, whatever. This could be used for even lower number. And I thought for the assessment, I found this worksheet, and it says how many groups of 10, how many leftovers, how many altogether. And it shows different groups here, here, like here and here. And then at the very bottom, they have to show. So it says show 18. So of course they would do 10 and 8. How many 10s do we have? How many 1s do we have? And then they have to write a number sentence. And I thought having an assessment with more like this, these for practice, maybe like a independent or guided practice, and then having these for an assessment would really be able to show if the student was understanding adding those larger numbers to get the teen numbers or up to 20. I found this and I thought it would be a much better assessment than what I had, and it would let the students work with the little discs as manipulatives, because especially the student I worked with, he really did better when he had manipulatives he could work with. It was a little bit harder for him to focus, and I think being able to touch and move things like that really helped him to not only focus better, but he could count them out when the numbers were a little bit harder to add or subtract. We could also do other forms of practice. We could let the student come up to the board and draw the circles in, or we could find a video about adding numbers 10 plus blank to help students that do better seeing it rather than a hands-on approach. Also, I think working in a small group on an activity like this could be helpful, because some students will fill one and then put a couple in the other, while some fill some of this, and that way they can see different ways of doing it. And I think just seeing different ways to approach a problem really will help certain students be able to grasp an idea a little bit easier. And I think that is how I would go about reteaching, adding numbers that go up to 20. Thank you so much.